Well, we got the Book of Boba Fett episode 6, and it's another episode. Boba Fett's not really in it at all, but it's another actual good episode. I've enjoyed episode 5 and 6. The first four episodes I thought were garbage, but I've actually enjoyed episodes 5 and 6. It just sucks that they're able to write these other characters well, but when it comes to Boba, they have no clue what people like about Boba or why Boba is a cool character. They just don't know how to handle Boba. They make him someone completely different and take away everything that people like about him. But with these other characters, they actually do pretty good for the most part, so these episodes are actually good. It's just stupid. So, anyways, spoiler warning if you haven't seen episode 6, there's your warning. Let's talk about episode 6, The Book of Boba Fett. This episode was another sort of Mando episode, except also about Luke and Grogu. It's weird. It really feels like once they ran out of flashbacks, they were like, okay, that's it for the Book of Boba Fett. We have no more ideas for Boba Fett. We had 4 episodes worth of Boba content, and now let's get an early start on Mando season 3. That's what it feels like. It's really weird. I have no clue why the Book of Boba Fett was even created. There's not like the show sucks. There's not a good story with Boba Fett. They don't know how to write Boba Fett. Doesn't seem like anyone there particularly likes Boba Fett. I have no clue why this show happened. It's really weird because the Mando stuff's pretty solid. Episode 5 is my favorite episode, and episode 6 is pretty good as well. I have some complaints about it I'm about to get into, but it's really weird that they even made Boba Fett's in this episode for like a minute, and he has like 2 lines. It's really weird. I don't understand why they made a Boba Fett show when it's very clear no one wanted to make a Boba Fett show. They just wanted to make more Mando. It's so odd. I don't understand. But anyways, let's talk about this. So first and foremost, Luke's CGI is much better than it was at the end of Mando Season 2. It still looks a little wonky when he's talking. When he's not talking, it looks pretty good. But when there's talking involved, it does look a little weird. I've seen mixed things. I've seen some people loved it. Some people thought it looked horrible. I honestly thought it looked pretty good for the most part. Again, besides when he's talking. When he's talking, it looks a little wonky. But it is still miles ahead of where it was at the end of Mando Season 2. I loved when he showed up in Mando Season 2 at the end. But it did not look good when he showed up. It was rough. But it is clear that it seems like Filoni and Favreau have a pretty good grasp on Luke. They write Luke pretty well. Besides one thing. One thing in this that makes zero sense is at the end when he offers him the chainmail that Mando had made for him and the lightsaber. Which, how did he get Yoda's lightsaber? I have no clue, because as far as I remember, didn't he lose that in the Senate when he fought Palpatine? How did he get his lightsaber back? What happened? How did Luke get a hold of that lightsaber? That makes no sense. That's one of those things where, like, generally they're pretty good with fan service in Mando, but there it's like they couldn't have just made him a small lightsaber. It had to be Yoda's lightsaber. It's like, that's a stupid bit of fan service because it makes no sense. It's like, what? Why? That's stupid. But anyways, when he offers him that ultimatum, he says, you know, if he chooses Mando, then he chooses, like, attachment and, like, his loved ones or whatever. And it's like, what are you talking about, Luke? You've heard about the downfall of the Jedi. You know that what the Jedi did was wrong. And also, you have so much attachment to Han and Leia and everyone. Like, that's what you saw what happened to your dad, what happened to Anakin, to Vader. Like, you saw that. Luke should know better. Luke, to give him this ultimatum and talk about how he shouldn't have attachments makes no sense. It really doesn't make sense at all. It's really stupid. But again, besides that, I feel like they write Luke pretty well. I like the way Luke's handled. But that part was like, that doesn't add up. Luke has nothing but attachment to, like, everyone around him. He's a very loving person. He's not one of these guys he's not one of these Jedi, like Mace Windu or something, that is just, like, forgone all attachment and is just all about the Jedi way. That's not how Luke is. Like, what do you mean? That part was stupid. But, again, besides that, I thought they handled Luke pretty well. A lot of people freaking out about Luke and Ahsoka interacting. I am one of the few people that hates Ahsoka and thinks she's a terrible character and took away from what could be interesting in Clone Wars. Because, you know, Clone Wars is like, oh man, we finally get to see all those adventures of Obi-Wan and Anakin that are talked about in the prequels, but we never actually get to see. Can't wait to see that. Instead, it's all about some teenage girl that is actually Anakin's apprentice. And it's like, that's not what I wanted from this show. I know a lot of people love Ahsoka, and I'm in the minority here, but I do not like Ahsoka, and I feel like she ruined a lot of stuff. And giving Anakin an apprentice was one of the dumbest things possible. It makes literally 0 sense. Oh yeah, you're not a master, but we gave you an apprentice. We think you're very irresponsible and like but we think you're responsible enough to have an apprentice and shape a young mind. That makes no sense. Like, I get that the Jedi don't make a lot of sense in some of the things they do, but that really made no sense. Anyways, yeah, so Ahsoka, I will say I liked Ahsoka in Mando Season 2, though. As much as I don't like her in the Clone Wars, I did like her in Mando Season 2. One thing about this episode, though, when I was watching it and I saw Ahsoka show up and then Cad Bane, I go, oh, 100% this was a Filoni episode. Because Filoni loves bringing his creations back and throwing them in. That's what I liked Mando Season 2, but a lot of it was just freaking guest appearances of characters that Filoni had a hand in creating. And that's what this episode was. It's like, here's Ahsoka, here's Cad Bane. Yeah, but I thought that was funny. You could so tell it's a Filoni episode because it's like, look at him shoving his creations in your face all over. I felt like Ahsoka being here was stupid. Also, did I miss something, or how did he locate Luke? Maybe there's something in episode 5 and I just forgot, but it feels kind of weird that kind of anyone could just locate Luke. I must have missed something. Otherwise, how did Mando just know Luke was there? It's like, you know, the Jedi are kind of trying to get, you know, he's trying to rebuild the Jedi and everything. It feels kind of weird that there are definitely people out there that would want him dead, and for it to just be that easy for a bounty hunter to show up and find him. I don't know. I was very happy to see Cobb Vanth back. I love Cobb Vanth because I'm a huge Timothy Olyphant fan, and so seeing him back was great, and I thought he was used really well in Mando Season 2, so I thought it was cool seeing him back. And yeah, just Timothy Olyphant's always great, and I've wanted to see Cobb Vanth back ever since that first episode of Mando Season 2. I was like, please bring this guy back, and they did. And then he has a pretty sick showdown at the end with Cad Bane. Now, Cad Bane's a character that I always thought in concept was cooler than he actually was, because I felt like, I haven't watched Clone Wars in a while, it's been a while, but when I watched Clone Wars, I felt like most of the time he showed up, he was built up as this like badass, and then he would just get his ass kicked. I don't know, it's just how it felt. It's like, it looked cool. He's like this old west looking gunslinger. He's got such a great voice, and I'm glad they got the voice actor back for the show instead of having someone else do the voice. But he would just always get his ass kicked. Like, that's how it felt. It felt like he'd show up, he'd maybe do like one cool thing, and then just get his ass beat. He always got his ass beat in like the lamest ways too. Like, it was just I don't know, that's just how I felt a lot of the time. Like, fights he shouldn't have lost, he lost, and then some fights they shouldn't have won, he won, and it was just, I don't know, I felt like they never really used Cad Bane in the best way in the Clone Wars. Maybe that's just me, but that's how I felt. But at the end here, it's pretty cool seeing him show up. I guess he just walked all the way over there. It looked badass, but made no sense for him to walk all the way across there. But he has his little Mexican standoff with Cobb Vanth. And when Mando first showed up to that town, I'm like, why is this deputy here? And then when the deputy steps out, when Cad Bane's there, I was like, oh, he's here to die to Cad Bane. And you see Cad Bane shoots Cobb Vanth once in like the shoulder, and the other guy like 50 times. So it's like, yeah, he was just here to die. So Cobb Vanth is okay. I'm very certain that he's fine. He just got injured, and this was the motivation to get him to actually help support Mando, because he wasn't all in at first. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. I thought that Cad Bane actually looked cool in live action. They did a pretty good job. I know some people were saying the mouth looked a little wonky, but I thought it looked fine for the most part. But yeah, overall, another pretty solid episode. Episode 5 is still my favorite. I think episode 5 was really good. I think this one was good, not great. And I liked seeing Grogu like actually learning. I thought that was cool. Again, I still think the ultimatum's stupid though. But that's my thoughts on Book of Boba Fett episode 6, or Mando season 2.5 episode 2. Please let me know in the comments below what did you guys think of this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys later.
Hey, skinny boy, saucy boy, I be running to the bank. Yeah, you know I hit the gas in the whip full tank. Riding past the ocean while I'm listening to Frank.